And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're talking about cash. We're talking about money. We're talking about the importance of money and why it is crucial. It's critical that you begin to get a money mindset. Okay. I called this today. What did I say? Well, I called it are you a money making, keeping, and growing machine? Okay, as men, we're designed to be machines. Now, what do I mean by machines? I mean in terms of consistency in achieving our dreams and goals. And it takes cash, it takes money. And if you haven't figured that out yet, then begin to look around because it's important. All right. What I'm going to explain now is how you should be thinking about money and and not only why it's important for the long term, but also some things that you should be doing with your money in order to make it, keep it, and grow it. If we understand femininity and masculinity, let's understand it properly. Femininity is to spend. Why? Because femininity is based upon emotion. It is based upon solving a problem now. Okay? I feel like this, and because I feel like this, I need to buy something that solves this problem immediately. This is feminine. And it very often is focused on the immediate solutions, mostly in here, but then also, my immediate vicinity. Okay, you'll notice that women very often generally will struggle with keeping their finances in check. Okay, they won't talk to you about it, but a lot of women have credit card issues. Okay, because of their emotions. Now, there's a lot of women as well who are masculine, and because of their masculinity, they want full control over their money, and they end up becoming very manly because of it. I don't want that stuff. Me personally, I want feminine women in my life that spend my money, but they get a limit, right? But they get to spend my money as much as they want to a certain limit, because as long as I keep that limit and they don't go above that, then I can exponentially make more. Do you understand? So once I start a relationship with the woman, I will keep the limit very low, and then I'll consistently increase it over time, so that they never receive less than they had in the past, right? They'll always have it increasing, because then they feel ever and ever and ever abundance, ever increasing abundance. That's what we want femininity to have. However, we don't want you to be feminine, because if you're feminine, you're squandering all your wealth and you'll never be able to fulfill the dreams and goals of your women and of your kids, right? And you'll never be able to continuously grow your empire bigger and bigger and bigger every single day, every single month, every single year. Does that make sense? So we have to understand the femininity aspect, that very often you've been stuck in your feminine ways when it comes to cash. Like, how much cash have you squandered over the years? Like, literally, bleh, just threw up, in order for you to feel good in the moment, for you to like get that extra, whatever it is. Okay, I don't know what you've wasted your money on, but it's been on a lot of crap over the years. Now we're going into masculinity mode. We're going into the mode of making money, which is the biggest, massive priority. And we want to increase that skill continuously over time. So eventually it just flows. It's just passive income, that just keeps coming in, and it keeps coming in again and again and again and again. The passive income is crucial. That's how we make money. And then we need to understand how to keep that money, and then we understand how to grow that money. Those are the three aspects of cash. In terms of making money, very often, like what I've noticed, a lot of guys, that are young and that are thinking, oh, I want to get rich one day. And then they're stuck at school, or they're saying that, oh yeah, I just need to finish college first. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, you're literally spending money in order to get an education that's worthless, in order for you to make money having a job in the future. That's ridiculous. The number one thing you need to do if you want to become rich is to start making money now. Not in 5 years' time or 3 years' time or next month. Now, immediately. You need to start making cash, produce, right? And the best way to do that in the beginning is not from a business, because a business will take time to establish, and it's going to take time for you to make money doing that. You need a job. The 5 phases of leadership, the first step is allow yourself to be led. If you're not making money, you need to make money now. And that includes getting a job. Preferably, I'd like for you to have 3 jobs and work 80 hours a week with the side hustle, a side business on the side. There's no time for women. There's no time for anything else. No time for friends. No time for family, except maybe during the Sunday. Okay. Like, that's kind of what I do. Like, Sundays is the day to spend with family and friends to kind of rejuvenate yourself. Or if you like to work Sundays, then maybe Friday evening. That's it. The rest of the time you're working. Why? Because you are a money-making machine. In the beginning, you have to think like that because you've been stuck in your feminine ways. And when you're stuck in your feminine ways, you're not going to achieve your masculine dreams and goals. Get started with working. Work. You know, my definition for truth. Truth is that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. Meaning, if you're not working, you're not a man of truth. Because, like, do you understand what I mean? That which works. So you've got to be producing. You've got to be functioning. You've got to be able to bring in the dough. And that's the best way to do it in the beginning, is to actually have some jobs and work a lot until you're able to be disciplined no matter what. And then you have the most important hours of your day. Even though you've got 80 hours work week working for someone else, the most important hours of your week are the hours that you spend on your business, because that's your exit strategy. That's the thing that's going to allow you to never, ever, ever have a boss ever in the future again. And you want to be pissed about the fact that you're not out of a job yet, right? You want to make sure that you're so pissed about having a job that you refuse to have a boss ever again in the future. The enemy of the great life is the good life. And that's what most people suffer from these days, of having a great job that pays them some good money, and then they basically waste their other 8 hours that they could have been producing a business, but they don't, because they have a job and everything's great. You're one step away from poverty if you only have one income. Hawasele told me that one. Okay, you're one step away from poverty if you only have one income. You need to have multiple incomes. Why do you think I say 3 jobs plus a business? That's multiple income streams. You're beginning to train your mind in entrepreneurial ways of, oh, guess what? I've got multiple income streams. I get fired from one job. Who cares? I'm fired up, okay? And even if you did get fired from one job, bro, there's thousands of jobs available for you that you can connect yourself to, apply for, and then get the cash. Do you understand what I mean? So that's the number one aspect. You got to know how to make money. But most importantly, the most important hours of your week, even though the 80 hours, I'm repeating myself, is the business building aspect of things. You being disciplined, even though you're freaking tired, you don't feel like building your business right now because you're exhausted after 12 hours at your work, but you need to put in that 1 hour or those 2 hours or those 3 hours to build your business, the little small itty bitty free time that you have. That's going to develop your discipline, and suddenly you're going to begin to make cash. If you're consistent, you're going to make cash on your business. What happens? Hey, you know what? I've replaced my income on my one job. Great. I need more time for my business. I quit, right? And then you begin to increase your capacity in your business. You're still disciplined with the little free time that you have. And then guess what? Your income will grow even more because you were investing more time in your business. And now you can say, oh, to the second job, I quit. Awesome. And then you've got more time for your business. Guess what happens? You've got now discipline to actually do more and more and more in your business, and you're increasing incrementally your capacity to be disciplined without having a boss. That's the crucial point, because very often entrepreneurs who say, I'm going to build my business and I'm going to be disciplined, I don't want a full-time job, and then they just go out and try to start to build their business and they're not disciplined. This is the biggest aspect that stops people from building a business. It's not the lack of cash. It's discipline. People are not disciplined. Entrepreneurs are the least disciplined people in the world. Okay, very often. You see them and you're like, oh, wow, these entrepreneurs, they're amazing. Most of them suck. It just looks like they're amazing. And it's easy to make cash these days because it's all based on loans. Okay. And then they go bankrupt and screwed over, but you never hear those stories. Okay. I want to make sure that you don't get rich quick. I want to help you become rich for sure, just like Grant Cardone says, right? And the way that you do that is understanding what's stopping you from being exponentially consistent and disciplined in your business. And it's the fact that you are not able to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. It's all about masculinity, guys. The more masculine you are, the more you'll achieve your dreams and goals, because that's all business needs, is for you to simply do the same thing again and again and again and again and figure out that which works and that which does not work. The more truthful you become in your business, meaning the faster you begin to understand that which works in your specific niche or industry, the faster you're going to grow your business. Truth. It's all about truth. And it's all about understanding the habits that's necessary for you to arrive. Okay? So eventually, you know what's going to happen? You're going to make twice or triple as much as your full-time job. And you're going to have so much to do in your business that you're going to be like, you know what? It's better for me to quit my full-time job. Do you know when that's going to happen if you're actually consistent with this plan that I've explained just now? It's going to take less than 18 months to 3 years. Absolute maximum, in my opinion. You'll have quit your job. You'll never, ever need a boss ever again. Wow. Right? That's not financial freedom, because financial freedom requires you to go to phase 3. Remember, there's 5 phases of leadership. Number 1, allow yourself to be led. That's the 3 jobs. Leading yourself. That's you on your free time building your business. Amazing. Okay? Leading yourself. Semen retention and exercising, getting all those things in that is necessary for you to be at your optimal rate. You don't have time for girls. You don't have time for drinking, for cigarette smoking, for weed. What are you doing? Like, femininity needs to be thrown out. Stop being a little bitch, right? And then we move on towards our dreams and goals faster, right? I've had 2 calls this week where guys were like telling me, bro, man, you're giving me a hard time. Like, man, there's my self-worth is low because your standard is up here, and I'm not having any fun. I don't have time for friends. I don't have time for girls. I feel bad when I sit down and just chill, right? But I'm telling them this is what I tell them. I tell them that what you're doing right now, it's supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be lonely, because it's only for a short freaking period of time. It's okay. You've got me. I'm your friend. Okay, let's work this out. And I kind of make fun of them a little bit, and then eventually at the end of the conversation, they're like, me, and then they get over themselves, and then we get back to work. We forget ourselves and get back to work. Why? This is what's happening. I'm basically shrinking the time of 5 years and 10 years that it would take for anyone else down to 6 months to a year to 18 months process of you quitting your job and never ever having to have a boss ever again. That's what happens when you're being coached by me. Do you know what happens in terms of pain? 10 years or 5 years of pain dragged over 5 to 10 years is now compressed into just a few months' time, and it hurts. Okay? It's going to be painful. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to feel depressed. Why? Because it gets worse before it gets better, right? The moment you're into the habit of actually building your business, making money, and actually maybe even getting some employees and entering the 3rd phase of leadership, which is lead a team, you're not going to be that lonely anymore, right? And you're going to begin to develop relationships in your business and outside your business, and you're going to develop contacts. And guess what? You'll also have time and be disciplined about making sure you have some fun every single week. Not drinking, not smoking, not doing all that crap, but just having fun with friends, proper fun. Okay, masculine fun, going out and being violent with each other for kicks, or like martial arts or basketball or whatever it is. You understand what I mean? Like once a week you can do that. But now we're building up your financial future. What I explained to them as well was, what we're doing right now is we're making sure that you never ever have a financial money problem ever again in the future. Do you know how many people for 50 to 60 years to 80 years of their lives are counting dollars and counting pennies and dimes because they haven't solved the money problem yet? And they end up getting a family and having kids, and the wife saying, oh, we need more money for this and we need more money for that. And you're like, no, we need to keep this. We can't spend all of our monies. Like, do you understand? Like, that's ridiculous. You want to solve the money problem once and for all so that you never have to do it again, until you've got passive income that just flows and flows and flows, so that you have enough, so that you know that you never spend above a certain limit, so that you make sure that it's exponential forever. If you do that, then you can actually immerse yourself in the experience that you're producing with the cash you have, instead of counting dollars and wondering, oh, are we going to afford this? Like, that's ridiculous. Can you imagine going to Disney World thinking like this? One, I'm rich. Or two, I'm like middle class doing okay. The middle class guy will think, no, we can't jump on this ride because of cash. Or no, let's not eat that candy right now because we're saving money. Like, do you know how expensive these tickets were? While the other guys, the rich guy who goes to Disneyland with his family and has set a massive budget that he knows it's impossible to reach, right? No matter what his kids do. And then he doesn't, try to spend all that money. He's being masculine, but he knows in his brain where his limits are. And then his kids and his women are saying, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And you're like, yes, we can. Absolutely. Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not worrying about the money because it's passive, and you've set a set limit that you're not going to spend above this. And do you understand what I mean? So I'm just taking you to the next level of understanding that this short period of time where you're not spending any money, where you're making as much money as you can, and then you're making sure that grows so that it becomes exponential and passive over time. That's what it's all about, guys. And yes, it's going to be painful in the beginning. It's going to be lonely in the beginning, but you got me. I'm your coach. I'm going to keep you fired up all the way because I keep the vision alive. I keep the dream, the goal alive, because you're going to achieve it. It's impossible to not achieve it if you apply the principles on this channel. Its success is inevitable as long as you never quit. Always. It's impossible to fail in this life with the opportunities that have been given us, with the internet, with cryptocurrency, with all of the stuff that's been given us. It's awesome. I love this life. It's freaking amazing if you get to work. Okay, now we figured out the making aspect. Now we need to figure out the keeping aspect. I've gone a little bit into it, but I want to explain how to keep money in a masculine way. Masculinity only invests. He doesn't spend. There's no such thing as spending for a masculine man. He invests, which means that if he wants an amazing experience, he understands how to make sure that his dollar stretches a long time in that experience. Okay, what do I mean? I mean that basically you have set budgets for everything so that you have a leisure account or a budget, in a sense, so that and that leisure account is very, very small in the beginning, but it increases massively over time. Okay, so in the beginning, right now, when you have no cash, nothing, you never spend any money on leisure, ever. Like like you're working 3 jobs. You really want to keep exchanging your time for money in order for you to have leisure time? Like that's ridiculous. Like let's have passive income pay for your leisure activities because you're going to get there. So in the beginning it sucks. You're not having fun unless you're actually enjoying the business and industry that you're in. Hopefully you choose an industry that you actually are passionate about, because then it's fun and it's business and you can invest in your business. Do you understand what I mean? So the other aspect is also investing in your family. That's normal. Like I want to invest in my family. The other aspect is, but don't get a family yet. That's the whole point of not having girls in your life, not having kids in your life yet, preferably, if at all possible. Voluntary celibacy, guys, it'll save you a lot of cash. Like that one thing alone, man, you'll save so much cash from not being out there with the women. Like you'll notice you're not spending money on drinks. You're not spending money on partying. You're not spending money on cologne or whatever it is. You're not spending money on clothes. Maybe a few suits, just for your business, yeah. But you're not spending money on girls. It's a waste of freaking time. And most probably they're not going to be yours in the first, like, how many times have you wasted money on women that gave you nothing? Well, that was a fun experience. Like you wasted that many hours in order for you to pay for that experience. Man, like ridiculous. Femininity, get rid of it. Okay, destroy the inner bitch, like Havazel says. Now we move on to keeping the money. You got to keep it. What are your biggest expenses in life? Number one is taxes, okay? The whole goal of the Men of High Value movement, one of them is to get rid of taxes absolutely, completely. It's our biggest expense. What the hell is that all about? I work from January to August or September for the government. What the hell? And I get to keep my September or October to December money? Like that's ridiculous. It's your biggest expense. The best way to get rid of that expense is to build a business, because then you pay taxes after your expenses instead of before your expenses when you're an employee. In the beginning, as an employee, then it's okay. You only have those 3 jobs for a few months, and then you get rid of that, and then you've got your business full time, and you have massive amounts of work to do and discipline to do, etc., etc. And what you'll notice is that you'll pay less and less and less and less in taxes the more rich you become. How insane is that? How twisted is the world? We're saying that we're taxing the rich and redistributing wealth, but the system actually is taking money from the poor and the middle class and giving it to the wealthy. Welfare. It's welfare for the rich, the system that we're living in today. I want it to be an equal playing ground so that the rich are not keeping, like, everyone should not have to pay tax. When that happens, suddenly there's a level playing field and the rich don't keep going ahead of everyone else. It's ridiculous. But then it's all about semen retention, about motivation, about, the level playing field, not just them keeping the money and staying up there. So anyway, the whole point is I'm trying to explain to you the biggest expense is taxes, and that's why you should never, ever remain an employee for life. Why would you do that to yourself? It's ridiculous. Number 2, the biggest expense you have is rent. After taxes, rent, okay, or owning your own house. Don't try to own your own house, guys. Don't buy your own house. And if you have an apartment or a house, sell it now before there's a massive financial collapse. Sell it, get rid of it. If you've got a house or an apartment that you've worked all these years for, ridiculous. Get rid of it. You don't need it. In terms of rent, do you need an apartment? Well, what do I mean by that? Okay, let's look at this. If you have a business and you've got a system and you need an apartment in order to fulfill all these things that you need to do, fine, great. But I'm going to give you some radical tips now for how to save money in order for you to exponentially grow it over time. If you are in this situation, ask me for coaching or ask me for suggestions, whatever DM me at Men of High Value on Instagram if for your specific case. But for many of you, I would actually say, you know what? Maybe you don't need an apartment right now. Maybe you should move into a collective to lower your expenses by 50% on rent, which is one of your biggest expenses. Maybe you should live in your car. Do you know how much money you save living in your car, being somewhat of a homeless person in the beginning? How was it possible that Robert Kiyosaki massively grew his business when he owed $1 million in his 20s? How did he manage to get out of that? They were homeless for a few years, him and his wife. Okay, you don't have a wife, so that's not a problem. It's only you choosing to be happy despite attitude independent of circumstances. You can actually live in your car for a period of time. Oh, but where am I going to shower and where do I get water and all that stuff? Bro, just join a 24-hour fitness gym where you got a shower and you use that every single day, and that's a lot cheaper than having rent on your house. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because for many of you, including my clients, this is not going to be your situation. I'm just giving you a paradigm shift of what it takes for you to become a billionaire. Do you understand what I mean? Don't allow yourself to stay in this box of, well, I need comfortability. You're masculine. You don't care. You don't care about anything except for your dreams and goals that will be achieved in the future. You're going to achieve them. Do whatever it takes in order to achieve them. If that includes saving $2,000 or $1,500 or $1,000 a month because you got the cash, and then investing that in proper in your business or into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or gold or whatever it is that we know for a fact will increase in the next 18 months. Not financial advice, do your own research, whatever it is. But the whole point is, do you understand what you could do with that extra cash instead of putting that in your, landlord's pockets? I'm explaining to you masculinity now, thinking outside the box, making money, keeping money, and then exponentially growing that money. And then you've got food, and then you've got leisure activities. Leisure activities is absolutely ridiculous at this point in your life, most probably. If you don't have 100K net worth, don't do leisure activities. Like, okay, maybe 20K in net worth, whatever. You understand what I mean? And then exponentially growing that business. That's when your business comes in terms of passive income. You replaced yourself. The more you learn to replace yourself in your business and keep retaining the people that have skills and they're better than you in your business, the more money you're going to make, because you just make a small percentage of every single person. And it's a win-win because they want to keep the job and you get a little bit of percentage of the effort that they put in because you got them that job. This is completely legit win-win situation. And not only this, but like you create a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger business, the more money comes to you and you reinvest into that business, and that provides security and safety for your employees that are working for you. This is how capitalism works. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And then you'll eventually begin to invest. Like, the more money you have, the easier it is to make money. A lot of people say that, oh, it takes money to make money. That's false, utterly false. However, if they change it to it's easier to make money when you have money, absolutely. And that's what we want you to have. Do you understand that aspect? I've gone through all of the financial aspects. If you have questions about what you should do financially, then comment down below. Make sure you DM me on Men of High Value. There's so much opportunities out there, guys. What's going to happen in the next 6 to 18 months, in my personal opinion, is that many fiat currencies are going to exponentially decrease in value. It's already happened in Venezuela. It's already happening in Lebanon. It's happening in Argentina. It's gonna eventually come to you. I'm pretty much 95% sure that that's going to happen in the next 18 months. Who knows? I can't predict the future. However, are you safe? The only thing that's going to keep you safe is your skills. That rich people there's always going to be rich people in the world, even if, everything collapses 95%. There's always going to be rich people. Do you have skills to serve them? Because if you've got skills and you have the ability to start a business, and you've got people skills and you can lead a team and solve problems, you're always going to have money. However, what about the cash you already have? With that cash, it's only gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. Not all cryptocurrencies. I would focus on Bitcoin. If you've got those, in my opinion, you're hedging yourself against inflation. Gold, okay? What we know about gold is that it's not gold that increases in value. It is the dollar that depreciates in value. That's the only reason why gold goes up. So if you know that, and you see that gold keeps going up, the moment will come when that is exponential. Okay, just so you know. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you got a lot of information out of it. A lot of people didn't want to listen to me, but that's okay. It's only a few key people. And those few key people who manage to listen to my rants are the people who will become billionaires, because you'll actually apply it to your life. I'm proud of you for keep listening to this video. All right. And then you guys keep talking about semen retention. I mean, that's great, but that's old school. Like that's fundamental. Let's get rid of that. Let's finish it so it's a habit. So you got the 90 days cleared, so you don't have to think about semen retention ever again, because it's just part of who you are. It's your process. You're not even counting days. You're not even thinking about semen retention. You just moved on to beginning to make money while the semen retention process is automatically going on. You're not having to think about it or anything. That's where I want you guys to get to. I'm not even thinking much about semen retention, but I'm just kind of helping you guys to get past that as soon as possible. Anyway, is pure semen retention for 30 days once done beneficial? And also after that, if you still keep relapsing, how would you break the habit for good harmoniously? Like just once done beneficial. Of course it's beneficial after 30 days. It's beneficial for the rest of your life. Why wouldn't you not want to practice semen retention? It's amazing. Great sleep. Yes, you get better sleep when you work hard. That's not going to come from semen retention necessarily. It's going to come from you exhausting yourself on a daily basis for 12 to 14 hours a day. That's what creates great sleep, by the way, and waking up early. Wealth, absolutely. Attitude independent of circumstances, meaning being fired up outside your brain all the time and then continuously working those 12 to 14 hours a day. That's what's going to attract wealth. Okay, 90 days at a time and not just pure semen retention. You have to replace the deed with habits that benefit your own life. No one can break the habit of relapsing except yourself. Beautiful, Alejandro. I completely agree. Amazing content. Also, bro, it's just that my mind starts going crazy during the streak and I can't sleep. I listen to ASMR on YouTube to help me sleep a little. Okay, so basically understand, if you can't sleep, it's because you're not working. You're not applying the second aspect of semen retention. You're only applying the one half, which is not touch yourself. Don't watch porn. That's one half of semen retention. The other aspect that makes semen retention work for you is the fact that you exercise. Okay, great. You know, half an hour a day, whatever. But that's not the thing. I want you to work for other people. Forget yourself and go to work, working 12 to 14-hour days every single day, at least 6 days a week, for other people, solving their problems. When you solve other people's problems, that's going to solve all your problems exponentially over time. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'm excited for your futures, guys. If you stick to this channel, if you stick to the Men of High Value community, and if you hire me as a coach, you guys that haven't done that yet, you have no idea what you're missing out on. You that have been in the past and then stopped, things are progressing. We're moving forward as a community. We're now introduced group calls in the community. We did that first thing yesterday, and man, it was awesome. We're moving forward, guys. I'm excited for you, and I'll see you in the next one.